It's real out here on these streets.
It is not just a black problem. It is an all-people problem.
It should be everybody's responsibility.
Just tell them, man, we got to step up. We got to be world changers because we have a future ahead of us that we can change. We can change everything, impact the whole world.
KSLA News 12 presents Taking Back Our Streets. Welcome to this special broadcast, Taking Back Our Streets. Violence is overtaking our communities. So far this year, Shreveport has had 14 homicides, and at this rate, we will surpass 2016 numbers. Last year, the number of homicides jumped to 46 from just 28 in 2015. I sat down with more than a dozen people representing different neighborhoods in Shreveport, people who say enough is enough and they want to see change.
What made you not want to, I think, succumb to the peer pressure of doing bad things when you were in middle school? Because we know in middle school is where
I did it, yeah. I did a lot of stuff, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not squeaky clean. And, like, I think that's when people can tell that you're not being real with them. Like, if I'm sitting there, hey, you don't need to do this and don't do that. And then they be like, why? I can tell you. I'm like, look, man, look, I done did the smoking. I done did the drinking. I done did a little, you know what I'm saying, trying to deal here. And, like, man, it's nothing. It's a dead end.
But
I've seen the results from knowing that there is more to life than just thinking, okay, I need to just be right here in my neighborhood and make this little bit of money. Because people think that money is like what it is. This thing is going to get them some type of freedom or something, but it's not. It starts up here.
We're in Cedar Grove.
Yes.
Describe this neighborhood that you come and visit often because your relatives
It's a decent neighborhood. We just have a lot of crimes that go on. A lot of young people make bad decisions. It's not nothing to do for these babies out here. And if you look over here, this is called the streets. So everything they do is in the streets. They ride bicycles, streets. They play basketball, streets. They want to play football, streets. Everything they do, walking, talking, hanging in the streets.
Is that the excuse when shootings happen and for them to join that life or whatever? It's because I have to survive. I live in this neighborhood.
That's the excuse we use, but it's not an excuse. You know, you make that choice. I made that choice to want to sell drugs. I made that choice to want to run in somebody's house and take stuff out of their house. I made that choice to want to jump in people's cars and steal their car. I made that choice.
If something impacts one resident, it impacts all of us. And so the fact that I live in a primarily white neighborhood where we don't have those kinds of shootings every day, that doesn't matter anymore. What matters to me is the safety and the welfare of all of our citizens.
Let's talk about white privilege. I mean, I think that is definitely a hot topic now. People don't want to talk about it, though.
Who doesn't want to talk about it? White people? I'm happy to talk about it because I'm aware, and really it touches on the crime and violence issue we talked about earlier. I'm aware that I don't have to worry about seeing a police officer. I don't have to worry about being approached by an officer. I know if I see that person at an event, he or she is there to help me. I know if I'm stopped, I'm safe. You know, I'm going to talk to that officer, but I'm safe. I'm quite aware that people of color don't have that same sense of safety.
What would you say are your challenges?
Just getting out into the communities and trying to get the citizens to accept us, to accept what we do as law enforcement officers, to not be afraid of the uniform, to not be afraid of being seen talking to the police. We are in the communities, and can we be more visible? Probably so. But to say that we're not, it's down as such that it appear as though we're not doing anything, I take issue with that because our men and women are patrolling. The reason we were having 20 or 21, at the highest 28 homicides, and the crime rates and a lot of things were down, is because of the availability of those funds. When we saw an uptick in something, we could put together an operation and deal with it. We can put together.
Do that now?
Well, that's overtime money.
We started the conversation, and it must continue to find solutions. So we leave you with this question. What are you doing to make our neighborhoods safer? We want to share the efforts that could lead to safer communities. Email takingbackourstreets@ksla.com. We're going to keep asking those tough and difficult questions and hold those in our communities and those in power accountable.